Hi. So the next item that we want to talk to you about is what are the ground rules for this class. What I mean by that is there are certain things that look, you can watch me and but I'm not an entertainment show. Let us be real. I'm not a comedian, and I don't want you to waste your time. The idea is for you to learn something from this class, right? That's why you're taking this class. In which case, you should learn how to learn. So I'm going to talk to you very briefly about some of the ground rules for this class. So the first thing is, my philosophy is very simple. I will always try to do something that is a systematic approach to mechanics. So I will not do clever tricks, I will not do shortcuts, but I will do general principles with examples. This has pluses and minuses, but that's what I believe in, and that's what I'm going to do. So which means that there are certain ways, certain procedures that you have to follow. So first item that I want to talk to you about is the question of shortcuts, clever tricks versus the royal road. So let me explain what I mean by that. So you can see this is my city. I mean, this is where I grew up in. This is Chennai, and I know this place very well. I've been here for a very long time. So I know, you can see the major roads on the map, right? But there are a whole bunch of small roads all over the place. I know how to get around. I know the local language. If I get stuck somewhere, I can ask somebody and figure out where to go. But if you are visiting this place and if you want to go from point A to point B, because this is a new town to you, I am only expecting you to use the major roads, because then if you get stuck, I can rescue you, or you can figure out where you are on the map. This is the same thing with statics and dynamics. You are new to the subject. If you are new to the subject, you better follow the major procedures. Don't try shortcuts. Don't try magic formulae. This is something that I'll keep telling you. So what we are going to do is, as you get more experience, you can use shortcuts. Otherwise, you will get totally lost and you don't know why we are using what. So what it is that the methods that we are going to use are going to be somewhat longer, but they will get you there safely. That's item 1. Item 2, if you get stuck, you can figure out where you are stuck. Diagnostics is easier. Okay, so that's very important. You are free to pursue shortcuts, but then you're on your own. You know what I mean, right? That is, I may not be able to help you because I don't know where you are. Okay, so that's something that you have to think about. That's item 1. So I am always going to go for the royal route, not necessarily shortcuts. The other thing is, we are going to talk about the difference between procedures and algorithms and not magic formulae. What do I mean? If you look at a problem and you are asking yourself, what is the formula, which is what you might be used to, please remember, that's not how we are going to do. The correct question to ask is, what is the procedure? Systematic step-by-step approach. Okay, there are no magic formulae, there are only sadly mistaken students. So if you know the magic formulae, it works for the examples that are given in the book. The minute you go and you sit in the example, suddenly all these magic formulae and incantations just, they desert you, and then you're really stuck. So what I want you to learn is how to follow procedures and algorithms. There is a bigger picture for this. That's one of the reasons why I'm talking to you about this. If you are going to be a practicing engineer, one of the things that we do for safety requirements is follow protocol and procedure. We don't allow people to take shortcuts because we want to ensure safety. So that's a very fundamental idea, and the corresponding thing here is that we are going to follow step-by-step instructions on how to do something with certain decisions along the way. So you should know how to do these procedures. Okay, this is a higher level of ability than just being able to figure out what's the correct formula. Okay, the correct formula is only of very limited use. Okay, the next point which I want to make is about memorization. Yes, you have to memorize certain things. It's possible for you, for example, it is possible for you to look up your name on Google. But it's better for you to memorize your name and home address and things like that. You know what I mean? So there are certain things that you have to memorize. But there is a way to memorize things, and that's the point which I want you to talk about, which is Don't memorize formulae. The symbolic representations are only symbolic representations are like text messages. They are in code. Don't memorize the code. Memorize the verbal description. Complete verbal description. For example, you know, if you have a body that's going around in a circle or a circular path, then the centripetal acceleration is given by v squared over r. The problem if you memorize this is that you are never sure what is v and what is r. And so this formula becomes useless to you because you don't know how to translate the English into words. So what you should do into symbols. So what you should do is you should remember it differently. The acceleration component pointing into the term. So pointing into the term is this way. Equals the square of the speed divided by the radius of the term. So you immediately realize what's r, what is v, everything. So rather than memorizing this, memorize this. So every formula that you want to memorize, you should be able to write it down in words, no symbols. It should be meaningful. Okay, symbolic representations are not. That's the other major point. Okay, so the basic thing is we will avoid shortcuts until we become experts. We will look for procedures, not formulae. Symbolic equations are code or text message for a full English sentence. We will state and memorize verbal descriptions, not symbolic expressions. Okay, with that we are done.